Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about foreign bodies of food passage. Now, foreign body in a food passage can be seen in the tonsil, and generally such type of foreign body, it is a fish bone or a needle, and on oropharyngeal examination it can be seen and it can be easily removed using a forceps. Then foreign body can also be seen stuck in the base of the tongue or in the vallecula, and it is also a fish bone or a needle, and a curved forceps is used to remove such foreign body. Then further down, foreign body can lodge into the pyriform fossa. Here also it can be a fish bone, it can be a needle, or sometimes it can be a denture also. So here also under local anesthesia with a curved forceps it can be removed, or sometimes general anesthesia and endoscopic removal is required. Then further down, foreign body can be in the esophagus. Now in esophagus it can be a coin, it can be a piece of meat, it can be chicken bone or a denture, a safety pin, marble or battery cell. So these are the common foreign bodies found in the esophagus. Now if it is a battery cell, then it should be removed as early as possible, because the chemicals in the battery cell, they start leaking, and then they cause the local erosion, and it can lead to the perforation or chemical pneumonitis. Etiology: foreign bodies in esophagus or food passage, they are commonly seen in children because they have the habit of putting everything in their mouth. Or it can also be seen in individuals where there is loss of protective mechanisms, like use of upper dentures. So when a patient is using upper dentures, the tactile sensations are less, so chances of aspiration are more. Then loss of consciousness, if the patient is having epileptic seizures or in a deep sleep, and even in alcohol intoxication. So in all these conditions, there is loss of protective mechanism, so chances of foreign body in the food passage are more. Then sometimes due to carelessness also, for example in improper mastication or hasty eating, will lead to the food bolus will lodge in the esophagus. Or if it is a narrowed esophageal lumen because of some pathology, if it is for example if it is a benign esophageal stricture, or if it is a carcinoma, then the food passage will stuck proximal to that stricture. Or in patients who are psychotics, so when sometimes such patients, they may attempt suicide, so for that they can put some objects in their mouth which can get stuck in the food passage as foreign body. So this is the etiology of foreign bodies in food passage. Now, site of lodgement of the foreign body, the most common site of lodgement of foreign body, it is the cricopharyngeal sphincter, that is the upper part of the esophagus, and this is it's a very narrow part, so the foreign body usually gets stuck at this place. If it is a flat foreign body, for example coin, it can get stuck at the level of the sphincter, or if there is some other foreign body, then it stucks just below the sphincter, because it cannot pass down because of the lack of peristalsis. If the foreign body passes through this sphincter, cricopharyngeal sphincter, then the next narrowing will be at the bronchoaortic constriction. The foreign body can stuck there also, or at the lower part of the esophagus, that is at the cardiac end. So these are the normal constrictions of the esophagus, and foreign body can get stuck anywhere at these constrictions. However, the most common site is the cricopharyngeal sphincter. And if it is a sharp foreign body, then it can lodge anywhere in the food passage. The symptoms of foreign body in the food passage will be, there will be history of initial choking or gagging. Then there can be, patient may complain of discomfort or pain just above the clavicle, and this pain is more during swallowing. And sometimes the patient will pinpoint the area of the pain or discomfort in the neck, and that can be the site of the foreign body. Then there can be dysphagia. This dysphagia can be total or partial dysphagia depending on the size of the foreign body. There can be drooling of saliva. It is seen more with total dysphagia. Then sometimes there can be respiratory distress also. Now this respiratory distress is because the foreign body in the esophagus, if it is large, it can compress the posterior wall of the trachea, and it can cause respiratory distress. Or sometimes it can also cause laryngeal edema, especially in children, and then it can cause respiratory distress. Then patients can also complain of substernal or epigastric pain, and this pain it is because of the esophageal spasm, or if the site is weakened and there is incipient perforation, then epigastric pain can occur. Now, on examination of patients with foreign body, on examination of the neck, there will be tenderness over the lower part of the neck or at the site of the foreign body. Then on indirect laryngeal examination, pooling of secretions will be seen in the pyriform fossa, and when the patient able to swallow those secretions, he will not be able to do so. And sometimes a foreign body can be seen protruding from the esophageal lumen in the post-cricoid area. Now, investigations, plain X-ray is done, and if the foreign body is radio opaque, then that can be easily seen on a plain X-ray. Now, X-ray should be done in both views, that is AP view as well as lateral view, and also the X-ray should contain the images from the neck, the chest and the abdomen. And if it is a radiolucent foreign body, then fluoroscopic examination is required, in which a barium soaked cotton or a barium capsule is given to the patient to ingest, and then X-ray films are taken to know the level and the type of the foreign body. Now here we can see this is an X-ray of a patient with foreign body. So here we see two views. On my left side it is the AP view, on the right side it is the lateral view. And in AP view also we can see that the neck, the chest, the abdomen is covered. The reason is that sometimes what happens when a patient ingests a foreign body, the foreign body can go below the esophagus. It can be in the stomach or anywhere in the intestine. So to know the level of the foreign body, we should always take an X-ray with neck, chest and abdomen. If we only take neck X-ray, then if the foreign body is lower down, we can miss it. The second advantage of taking this whole view is that if there are multiple foreign bodies, then they can be present at multiple places. So neck, chest and abdomen view is always helpful. On my right side, it is the lateral view of the patient with a foreign body. So if we are taking an view of AP view, then why should we take lateral view? Now it is because of three reasons primarily. The first reason is that we confirm our finding that the foreign body is in the esophagus or trachea. Now if suppose a foreign body is a flat foreign body as seen in this X-ray, so this flat foreign body will lodge in such a way that it is seen as a circular foreign body on AP view and a slit-like in PA view. So here we can see on the right side, slit-like in the lateral view. So here we can see on the right side the lateral view of the patient with a foreign body in the esophagus. So first we can confirm the level of the foreign body by counting the vertebra, which is easily done on lateral X-ray. Second, we can know the number of the foreign bodies. For example, if there are two coins, then on AP view there will be only single circular shadow, but on lateral view we can see two slits. So second advantage of lateral view is to know the number of the foreign bodies, and third advantage of lateral view is to know the type or the shape of the foreign body. For example, here we can see that maybe it is a flat object, for example coin or a battery cell. However, if it is a marble, then on AP and lateral view both, it will be seen as a circular foreign body. Hence, the advantage of lateral X-ray, it is first to confirm our findings that it is in trachea or esophagus. Second, to know the level of the foreign body. Third, to know the number of the foreign bodies, if there are multiple foreign bodies or not. Now here in the lateral view we can also see that we can see the air shadow in front of the foreign body. So it means that is the shadow of trachea. So it means the foreign body is behind the trachea, that is in esophagus. So a plain X-ray, AP view and lateral view is the investigation of choice for a patient with foreign body in the food passage. Now management of a foreign body in a food passage requires esophagoscopic removal. It is the management of choice in which a rigid esophagoscope is inserted, and with using a foreign body removal forceps, the foreign body is removed. Very rarely, if the foreign body is impacted or a sharp foreign body, then it cannot be removed by esophagoscopy. So it has to be removed by putting an incision in the neck and reaching the cervical esophagus. If the foreign body is a similar sharp or a foreign body or impacted foreign body is there in the thoracic esophagus, then sometimes transthoracic esophagotomy is also required. However, most of the time foreign body can be removed using an esophagus. The complications of foreign body in the food passage will be, it can cause respiratory obstruction if it causes laryngeal edema or if it presses the trachea. Then if it is a long-standing foreign body, there can be infection, it can cause a neck abscess. Then it can also lead to the perforation of esophagus. It can also cause fistula between the trachea and the esophagus, or it can cause ulceration and stricture of the esophagus. Hence, the foreign body should be removed as early as possible when it is diagnosed. Thank you.